Hey, hey, good morning. How are you? Stacy Hall in the house. Welcome to Free Coaching Friday. Super excited to be here today. As you pop in, let me know where you're coming in from. Also, let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. That is step number one. I want to make sure that you can see me and hear me okay. Having some issues with my AirPods, so I just want to make sure. Hey, hey, how's it going, Janine? Hey, Summer. Is the audio good? You can hear me okay? Let me know. That's number one. Good, awesome, fantastic. You can hear me. What's up, Jen? I'm super excited to be here. It's awesome to be able to step into Ray Higdon's shoes and fill in for Free Coaching Friday. It's truly an honor. And for those of you who don't know me at all, my name is Stacy Hall. I am part of the member success team with the Higdon Group. I am also a part of the Higdon Group speakers team. I am a rank maker lifer, whoop whoop. I am a coach with the Millionaire Roundtable. Most importantly, though, I am in the trenches every single day building my business just like you. And so I did it wrong enough, long enough, let me tell you. I've been in network marketing for almost 7 years. The first 3 years, I don't really talk about that much because I was colossally bad, like so incredibly bad at it. All of the things that would make me money terrified me. So having conversations with people, hearing the word no was like a bullet to the heart. You know what I mean? So I was really terrible. And the only reason that I kept putting one foot in front of the other and I didn't quit, because trust me when I tell you, I wanted to quit 1,000 times a week back then. The only reason I didn't is because there were some people in my life who were heavily invested in seeing me fail. And so I was stubborn and I refused to let that be my identity. So I just kept plugging away and staying around the campfire. And thank goodness I found Ray Higdon, because it was an event in 2015 that completely changed the game for me. I went to a Ray Higdon event. It was called Top Earner Academy Live. And Ray Higdon said some words to me at that event that forever changed my life. He said, "Stacy, you know that you are worthy, right?" That was all I needed to hear. Nobody had ever in my entire life said those words to me. And in that instant, I realized I did not feel worthy at all. I didn't feel worthy of any of it. And that was the beginning of the rest of my network marketing career on that day. And it was because of a Ray Higdon event that I'm here right now in front of you, so many years later, with a really successful business spanning 8 countries and growing. I'm able to stay home full-time with my kids. My husband is able to stay home full-time with my kids. And none of that would ever have been possible without Ray, without Jessica Higdon, without that event. So I'm excited to be here today. And I want to let you know, first and foremost, that they do have another event coming up. And it's called Rank Makers Live 2021. It's a virtual event, September 10th to 12th. I highly recommend, if you are here because you're looking for the tools, the support, the strategies, the community that you need to take it to the next level in your business and crush it and start having the success that you deserve. If that's what you're looking for, I highly recommend that you get yourself a ticket to that event. Get your butt in a seat. It's virtual. You can choose any seat in your house. You do not want to miss it, because it changed my life. And I know that it can do the same for you. And it's going to be next level this year, because every single year they get better and better and better and better. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I want to say hello, Elsa. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Judy. You're going to want to share this out for sure. Click that share button, tag some people, invite them in, let them know we're here, because I'm going to answer some questions and I'm going to hopefully lay down some gold for you today. So make sure you're sharing. I'm going to give away some prizes too. I like to give away some prizes. So if you have a question, please type the word question like in caps first and then your question, so that I don't miss it, because I don't want to miss any good questions, and I'm going to answer some for you. Absolutely. So let me start at the beginning. Thank you for the kind compliments. You're so sweet. I love it. Fantastic Friday. It's a little overcast here, but I'm in a great mood, so it doesn't matter. Your CEO gifted you with a year's membership to Rank Makers. Unbelievable. That's fantastic. I love that, Elsa. That is fantastic. Thank you, Summer. You are worthy too, my friend. All right, let's see the questions. Hello, Fraser Brooks. Hello, Texas. Hello. Well, as I'm waiting for the questions to come in, I don't see anything just yet. Let's talk a little bit about posting, okay? Because I was talking with some people this morning about the power of a solid journey post. And we got into it a little bit because journey posts are really, really powerful. And I don't see a lot of people taking advantage of them to the extent that they probably should. So I'm going to share a little bit about that. I have gotten so many solid leads, and I would dare say many business partners from leveraging journey posts. So if you're not familiar with them, if you know what a journey post is, drop me a comment. Let me know if you're doing them routinely. So a journey post is exactly what it sounds like. You share a little bit of your story, of your journey with your audience to help them connect with you, to help them learn a little bit more about you, but also to let them know a bit about your struggle, right? Because as Ray Higdon always says, people are okay with your ups if they know your downs. This is so, so important. As you progress through your career and you start having more and more success, it actually becomes more difficult for people to relate to that, right? So in order for them to really continue rooting for you, they need to understand your downs. Not only that, it really helps to inspire people to recognize that even people who have achieved a lot of success went through the suck, right? They drove the bus through Suckville like everybody else, right? And it makes them feel a little bit vindicated that they're putting in a lot of effort and maybe not seeing the results that they want to see just yet. So a good journey post looks like this. You want to have an enticing first sentence, something that stops the scroll. It has to be congruent with what you're sharing, though. Don't make it like clickbait. That's not cool, right? But an enticing first sentence like, I woke up that morning and I was convinced I was going to quit network marketing. Okay, that's just an example. It doesn't have to be that. So you have an enticing first sentence. Then you want to share a bit about the problem you were facing. What was going on in your life that was presenting a challenge for you that you weren't sure how you were going to overcome it? Share a little bit about that. Then next you want to share your crossroads. Okay, it sounds a little bit like a movie because it is. So you get to a point where you have to make a decision. And depending on the decision you make, it could go either way. Tension, right? So your crossroads. I had gotten to a point where if I didn't change something in my life, it was not going to end well. I knew I had to do something, or I was going to end up having to go back to work and bringing my kids to daycare, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted mom care, not daycare. This is an example, okay? That's your crossroads. You made a decision. Then you want to share a little bit about what's happened in your life since you made the decision. What good things have developed. It doesn't have to be big. It's better if it's not, okay? Like, I'm not exactly where I want to be just yet, but I have the plan now, and I know where I'm going, and I know who I'm going with, right? So you paint the vision of your future and where you're headed, because people want to follow people who are going somewhere. And the truth is, they actually don't care where you came from. So it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter if you came from nothing. It doesn't matter if you had challenges and obstacles to overcome. All that matters is that you're going somewhere and you know where that is. That is so inspiring to people. And if you paint that vision in a journey post, I recommend like once a month, because you should be constantly bringing new people into your world and having new eyeballs, right? So you want to share something like that about once a month, and you're going to notice that as you progress through your journey, your story is going to change because you're going to be accomplishing things. Yes. All right. So that's a very powerful posting for profits kind of post. So keep that in your toolbox. Tag up your peeps, because that's gold I just gave you right there. I hope that you recognize that. Okay, so we have some great questions. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anything. Oh my goodness, you wrote it in caps, Keely, so I had to answer your question because you clearly are afraid. girl, I want to just like pinky swear right now that you're going to move past this with me, okay? You and me right now. Why? Because this is me. This was me. It's not me anymore. I ain't scared now, okay? And you don't have to be either. She says, I found I'm petrified of prospecting and sending those messages out. Any advice, please? That was me. I was so scared of what people were going to think of me. I was so scared that they were going to pass judgment. I was so scared of what they thought about what I was doing that I could not move forward. I was a professional seat warmer at all the events, all the trainings. I did all the webinars, right? I would take all the notes, I'd highlight them, I'd rabbit ear them, and then I would do nothing, right? Does that sound familiar? I would sit in front of my computer and I would know what I was supposed to be doing, but I was so scared that I would busy myself with all kinds of other stuff. I'd find excuses to check my email, or it was just like critically important that I check to see if anybody commented on my Facebook post, right? Like it had to be done right then. Or I'd play in Canva. Hands up, anybody playing in Canva? That was me. So how do you get through this? There's a couple of key things you want to look at, Keely. I want you to seriously think about what it is that you're afraid of. And I'm glad you asked this question because you're not alone. There's a lot of people who have this exact problem. What is it exactly that you are afraid of? Because if you're afraid that the word no hurts you, right? You don't want them to say no. You don't want them to cuss you out. You don't want them to block you, whatever, have a negative opinion. It's because you're not understanding that when they turn down your opportunity or your product, they're not turning you down. It's not personal against Keely. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to the opportunity, and it's not even no forever. It's no right now. Unless they cuss you out. If they're rude, then all bets are off. But you have to start to recognize that it is not personal. They're not judging your value as a human being when they say no to you, even if they're rude. When somebody's rude to you, it's a statement about where they're at in their life. It's a reflection of who they are in that moment and the pain they're suffering. Because hurt people hurt people. So if they're mean to you, it's not about you at all. It's all about them. But even though you might understand that logically, you still feel the butterflies in your stomach and your palms get clammy and you just want to run. And for those who know my story, when I started to work through this, Keely, what I would do is I would type the message and then I would press send and then I would slam my keyboard shut and I'd run out of the room and I'd be like, I'd be practically hyperventilating. And my husband was like, what are you doing, you crazy person? And I'm like, I'm scared they're going to see the message. And he's like, well, isn't that the point? I'm like, yeah, kind of is the point, I guess, but I'm scared of what they're going to say. And the reality is, I was so self-focused. I was so self-focused that I was allowing my fear to be bigger than my desire to actually impact another human being who could be on their hands and knees right now praying for a solution, who may not have the money right now to buy diapers for their child, who may not know literally how they're going to put food on the table next week. And we're all inside our head about someone saying no to us and licking our wounds. And I'm not saying that to be mean at all. I'm saying that that's kind of a bit of human nature, and we need to sort of flip it on its head and recognize what we're doing when we allow our fear to stop us from actually helping another person change their life. The desire for impact has to be bigger than the fear. And the truth is, there's no way out of it except through it. You're going to have to dig up some courage. It's the only way. And Keely, that's why I spent 3 years without results, because it took me that long to get fed up enough to face my fear. And that is what you have to do. Everyone who has that issue, that's what you have to do. The second thing is, I want you to really take a look at what happened in your life, and it's probably sometime a long, long ago, that somebody rejected you, somebody told you you were less than, somebody told you you weren't going to amount to anything, somebody crapped on your dreams, somebody said something to you or did something to you to make you feel like you aren't worthy of this. And the fear originates there. And if you can think back to where that started, and you can go back to that girl and talk to her as the grown-up that you are now, Keely, and tell her the truth about the thing, not the story she's been telling herself all these years, you can absolutely free yourself from that fear. But while you're working on that, and this is for everyone, while you're working on the fear and figuring out where it comes from and tackling it, you have to find some courage because you don't want to stay stuck. So if you can, find a partner, somebody that can give you a little courage, that can lock arms with you and help you through it, because that will make all the difference. Sometimes we will show up for others more than we'll show up for ourselves. I hope that was helpful, Keely. I so understand where you're coming from. I really, really get it. Oh my goodness, there's some great questions. I feel like I want to answer all of them. Okay, we'll do a nice little easy one here first. Question, trying to build my TikTok followers. So many have never posted. They like my post. Do I follow them? This is a great question, Judith. It's challenging to know the right thing to do. TikTok is a really unique beast thing. It's a bit like the Wild West, isn't it? Like the rules everywhere else don't seem to apply on TikTok. So here's the simple answer to your question, Judith. You don't have to follow somebody just because they follow you. I know there is a little bit of that sort of rhetoric over there, like be nice, follow your followers. If you plan to build a big following, you can't follow everyone that follows you because you're only allowed 10,000 follows on TikTok. And if you are growing a big following, you'll hit that quick, right? So it's not that I have anything against people who don't post content. Some of them are fantastic cheerleaders. And so I wouldn't not follow someone because they don't have content. But I always ask myself the question, is this helping my business and can I help this person? And if those answers aren't yes, then I'm not following them, right? Is that person relevant to your niche, to what you, to who you serve, to who you want to help, to who you want to work with? Because we are in this business to build a business. We're not in it for the vanity metrics, right? It's not about how many followers we have on TikTok or, how many people are liking our videos. It's about how much of an audience am I building that cares about the content I'm posting? How many conversations am I getting into as a result of it? So if that person is not a potential conversation for you, they're not somebody who's posting content that's relevant to you, which clearly not, or not somebody that you would want to partner with or work with, I personally am not following them. I want my feed to be filled with potential customers and business builders, right? So think about it from that perspective. Now, of course, I do follow some accounts that really resonate with me, that inspire me, people in my niche that I'm getting ideas from, but predominantly you want to be interacting with people that could potentially be a part of your business, if that makes sense. I hope it does. I feel like I should give away a prize. Should I give away a prize maybe? Share this broadcast and drop the word share in the comments. And I'm going to pick somebody very, very soon, very shortly, to win a prize. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh my goodness. Some of these questions are incredible. Okay, so share the problems you faced that you weren't sure how you'd overcome. So Capri, I feel like you may be getting into your head a little bit about this. You're referring to the journey post, right? So it's going to be different for everyone. Why did you get into the profession? Why did you join network marketing? For any of you, what was the thing that drew you to it? For some of you, you could have fell into it by accident, but for most people, it's because they were looking for a solution for a reason, right? For me, I wanted to be home with my kids. I want to be present and engaged with them every single day. I didn't want to go out and have to commute and be gone 14 hours a day. And that was my reality then. That was my problem. And we were, quickly running out of resources. I'd been home for a while. It was time to go back to work, and I did not want to go. My heart broke. Every time I'd pick up the phone to call my boss to let him know that, okay, put me back on the schedule, I'd feel sick to my stomach. And I couldn't make the call. It was like 10,000 pounds, the phone was. That was my problem. What's your problem, Capri? What was your problem? What was your reason for getting in? There's no right or wrong there. It's personal to each person, right? So share the crossroads. A lot of people are asking about that. So I hope that was helpful. Who's sharing? I want to pick a winner. Carrie Kane, you are the first share winner. So excited for you. And you know what? I'm feeling super grateful this morning. So I'm going to share. I'm going to give you one of our Rank Makers gratitude journals. Carrie, congratulations. If you please would reach out to support@hagdengroup.com, and they'll make sure to get that out to you. Actually, I think Nicole Domare may reach out to you as well, because she may be on this broadcast, and that might be the shortest distance between you and your prize. Thank you for sharing the broadcast. Keep sharing, because I'm going to give out more. You want that, Elsa? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Good for you, Carla. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to give out some more prizes in a bit, so don't worry. Don't stop. Keep those questions coming. Let me see. I'm going to pick another one here. Lots of shares. You are so awesome. I love you. You're amazing. Oh my goodness, Stacy. Oh, I want to give you a big, huge, massive hug right now. I just did a Ray Daily about this topic. It seems like it's in the air right now. So let's just read this. Okay, I've been killing it in my business, top 1%. Congratulations, Stacy. That's amazing. Congratulations. I hope that you celebrate that. A very positive person. A month ago, my world was shattered. Marriage is in deep trouble. I haven't felt well, I think. I'm afraid I've damaged my business. How do I get back and still cope with the pain? Thank you for sharing that. I know that that's not easy, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. First thing I want to say is, of course, I am not a therapist. I'm not a professional therapist, so I can only share my experience of having gone through hardships while building a business, and what I did that helped me through it. But the first thing I want to share, Stacy, is that it's really critically important for you to give yourself some grace, because these are not small problems. These are not small problems. And when life kicks you in the teeth like that, it's going to suck. It's going to suck for a bit. And because we are part of a profession where we lean into personal development every single day, and we understand the importance of leading with gratitude and leading with positivity, we sometimes feel like we need to push all of our emotions down and keep soldiering on. But I'm here to tell you that there is such a thing as toxic positivity, which means that we don't feel our feelings. We hide them under a veil of everything is fine, everything is great, looking on the bright side, always thinking positive. But if you're trying to emit positive when you're feeling negative, you're out of congruency, and it's exhausting. You're going to feel exhausted, like there's nothing left in the tank. And so if you feel like that right now, you may be there, right? So it is critically important that you allow yourself to feel the emotions of what you're dealing with and give voice to it, and not feel like that means you're negative. It doesn't. You're human. So you have to give yourself a bit of grace. It is okay to take a bit of time to process. It's okay. You're in a season right now where your family is a priority, and it's okay. It should be. And if you want to focus your energy there on working on that relationship, on healing that relationship, on working on you, on healing you, that is where your energy should be. And this is one of those situations where if you have been duplicating in your business, pointing to systems, not being the person who does all the things, not answering all the questions, not being the one to micromanage every single person on your team. If you've been duplicating through systems correctly, you should be able to step away for a short period of time and not have everything unravel. That's the whole point of leverage, is that it's not about us as leaders. We become as unnecessary to the process of duplication as humanly possible, right? So for those of you who are not going through a hard time right now, listen carefully. If you're doing everything for your team, you're answering all the questions, you have no boundaries, you're hopping on Messenger with people at any time of the day or night, nobody waits for anything, you're doing all the trainings all the time, you're calling customer service for people, you're doing all the things. If you're necessary to the process, if you have to be physically present for every step in your quick start or every step in the process of launching a team member or nurturing a team member, you're doing it wrong. It's going to fall apart. You're going to cap your growth, because in your subconscious, you will be thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do if I have 5,000 people? I can't do this. I'm exhausted. And you're also mirroring that for everyone that's on your team, because they're watching you. And every potential person that you would bring on is seeing you run around like a chicken with your head cut off. And they're thinking, God, I don't want to be her. I'm going to stay right over here. I'm happy as a customer. Because they don't want that. So let this be a lesson for those of you who are not in a hard time right now, to make sure you are pointing to tools. It's not about what feels good for us. I mean, sometimes it feels good to be needed. That's not the point. The point is to create leaders who are independent of you. So when stuff like this happens, what Stacy's dealing with, and most people go through seasons like this, right? Not this exact same problem, but we all have challenges. And when they crop up, when somebody gets sick, or there's a challenge in your marriage, or you have to take care of a relative, or whatever it might be, you should be able to step back a little bit and not have your business fall apart. So think about that, okay? But for you, Stacy, take your season. And if you're in the top 1%, you have some leaders on your team, you have some lieutenants in place, I would go to those people and I would lean on them a little bit and delegate as much as you can. I know they love you, right? They're your leaders, and let them know I need some help. I need to step away just a little bit. And for you personally, when it comes to your personal production, Stacy, I would lean into your zero level marketing. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that notion, I learned it from Diane Hockman. She's an incredible marketer. I love her. I shout her out any chance I possibly can. Hey, Diane, I love you. Diane taught me a concept called zero level marketing. And what that means is you need to know what your base level of income producing activity is every single day that you will never go under, no matter what. Whatever that is for you, it's going to be different for everyone. It might be, no matter what happens, if I can open my eyeballs and hold my head up, I'm going to reach out to 2 people every day. I'm going to follow up with 2 people every day. I'm going to put out 1 piece of content every day, and I'm going to do some kind of personal development, even if it's just 5 minutes of a podcast every day. This is just an example, okay? And that's my zero level. If I'm physically capable, I'm going to do this no matter what happens in my life. ideally, you should come up with your zero level marketing when things are going well, not when you're already in a crisis. So you have it to lean into. But for you, Stacey, I would figure out what is that zero level for you that will allow you to not slide, so that you can give yourself some time to focus on what's really important at the moment and delegate as much as you can to get through this. Because you're doing this business for the people that you love. So the people that you love are your priority. So don't feel guilty about putting them as that priority. I hope that helps, and I hope that makes sense. And honestly, I'm a big fan of therapy. I really am. I really am. I hope that helped. Okay, I think I should give away another prize because we need to shake it out. We need to shake it out. We need to, woo, that was heavy. That was hot and heavy, but it was very important, I think. Very, very important for sure. Okay, Elsa Wintercorn, you were breaking my heart before because I've heard you say that a couple of times on broadcast now that you wanted that gratitude journal. And I feel so bad for you. And you've been sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing like a total champion. So high five, boom, Elsa Wintercorn. You get a gratitude journal. Yay! I will give out other prizes, but I just noticed that you said that a few times. And so I wanted to honor your commitment to constantly sharing these broadcasts. You're amazing. I love you. Okay, any other questions? So many people sharing. I love that. Okay. Okay. Tracy, how can I grow my team, but I don't feel it's a team, it's a family? I have not had one sale. I'm so very passionate about what I sell. Okay, so Tracy, how can I grow my team, but I don't feel it's a team, it's a family? I've not had one sale, but I'm very passionate about what I sell. I'm not 100% sure I totally understand what you mean by the first part of the question, but how do you grow your team? So, I mean, this is a very general question. If you want to give me some add-ons as to what in particular is holding you back from growing a team, because that may help me. That may help me because it's a very general question. But what I can say is that being passionate about what you sell is great. That's a fantastic start, right? If you know that what you have available for people is high value and people are going to want it, that's awesome. That should be the case. But without knowing what's standing in your way, what I would say is there's probably a fear. There's probably a fear because in order for you to build a team, there's a lot of people who feel like they can't recruit. We hear this every single day. I'm not good at recruiting. I'm good at sharing the product. I'm not good at recruiting. And it comes down to you're nervous, you're fearful, you're not exactly sure that you can lead people. You're not exactly sure what to do when they join your business. And you're not exactly sure why anyone would follow you. This is what's typically sticking with people. That's what's, causing them to be stuck, because if you don't have a lot of success in your business yet, you assume that that's what people are thinking about you, right? Why would anybody follow me? Like, I haven't even made a sale. Why would anybody join me? I don't know how to lead people. I can't even lead myself over here. Right? So if that's what you're thinking, you are absolutely emitting that energy when you go out into the marketplace, and people feel that. They feel like you're unsure, that you're nervous, that you're uncomfortable. And so they're not going to feel compelled to follow, because people follow strength and they follow people who know where they're going. So I know then the next question is, well, how do I do that when I don't know? There's a lot of things, okay? You have to understand the point of network marketing, first of all, because when you think that having people join your team is about you and what you can do for them, of course it feels pressuring. But that's not the case, actually. What we are is we're mouthpieces for the profession. We're mouthpieces for our company. We're mouthpieces for our product. We have the cookie. People want the cookie. We're just the person who creates that exchange, right? We have some information that can be really helpful to another person, and we're sharing that thing. We're introducing them to that thing. But we don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. We don't have to formulate the products. We don't have to do the advertising. We don't have to deal with supply chain management. We don't have to deal with payroll, right? We don't have to have like quarterly strategic meetings with people. All we have to do is point people to a tool, see if they're open to looking at it, point it to a tool, and collect a decision. You can do that, Tracy. You can absolutely do that. And you have to remember that there are people in your company that are having success building the business, right? Or the company wouldn't exist anymore. So people are having success. Whether or not you are is not necessarily relevant to the people you're talking to. They want to know what's in it for them. Can they come into the business and create success for themselves and whatever that means to them? If the answer is yes, that's all that matters. People aren't actually like delving into the particulars about what you got going on as much as you think they are. So just keep that in mind, that you are actually just the messenger. You have a miracle in your mouth. So let's say, for example, somebody, a friend or somebody that you know has a problem. Maybe they have, issues with their back. They're having a lot of back problems. You don't have products to do with that. You aren't in a business related to that, but you happen to read something in some article a year ago that you shared with your Aunt Martha. And Aunt Martha was having a hard time, dudes. She used the information you gave her from the article and she felt so much better. If you go to your neighbor and you say, well, I don't know nothing about back pain, but I'll tell you something. I read something last year that I shared with my Aunt Martha. She swears by it. I'm totally happy to share that article with you because she said it completely changed her life. You want to see it? I'll share it. Not totally cool. Would that be weird? Do you think your neighbor gives a crap whether or not you're an expert at back pain? Do you think they care if you ever sold anything related to back pain? Do you think they care if your business is about back pain? No, they don't. All they care about is that you may know something that's going to help them, right? It's what's in it for me, baby. So if you remember that, Tracy, take yourself out of the equation. It doesn't matter if you haven't made a sale yet. You will. As long as you keep going out, you keep seeing who's open, you keep putting valuable content in the marketplace. Just keep doing those steps over and over and over, and you will win. Last piece of this, make sure you have the skills. Make sure you know what you're doing. That's the easy part. I'm assuming you do. But if you don't, find out. Find out what your success system looks like and make sure you're following it. Because people tend to want to reinvent the wheel and then they get into trouble, right? I hope that helps. Okay, I could probably take one or two more questions. I love this comment, Dawn. It's not a question, but I love this comment, so I want to share it. It's also okay to show your team your emotions. Hells yeah. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Leadership is not about portraying yourself as perfect. Leadership is not about being a brick wall that nothing ever gets to you. You're human. Your team will cement themselves to you even more if they can relate to you, right? So it's okay to be human. Absolutely right. Absolutely. I love that. Some great questions, some real deep questions today. Tanya said, I needed to hear this. I love that. Rebecca says, delegate is my favorite word. Yes, absolutely. Diane Hockman is amazing. Yes, she is. You guys are fantastic. I love these comments. Okay. I know I missed a couple of really good questions and I'm so sorry. I'm going to just scroll back because I don't want to. Yes, definitely keep sharing. I'm going to give out a couple more prizes before we wrap up for sure. I love this. I wish my team do the same thing as I'm doing. Yes. Don't we? Here's the thing. If you're on the right track. Is it Segovia? I hope I'm saying that correctly. You're on the right track with your comment because whatever you do, they're watching. They're not going to do what you say. They're going to do what you do. So you're dead to rights with that. What happens with a lot of leaders is they get to a certain team size. They get 10 people on their team, 15 people on their team, and they immediately fall into management mode. They start micromanaging all the things, creating trainings, reorganizing their guides tab, creating some Evernote files, some pretty pictures. Everything's tickety-boo. But they're not doing their, their income-producing activities. So the numbers in their back office, right? So common. So common. So you're absolutely right here. You want your team to move? You gotta move. You gotta lead from the front. Ask yourself at the end of every single day, I'm a big fan of, analyzing backwards, right? Ask yourself at the end of each day, if my team did exactly what I did today, would I be happy about that? If everyone on my team did the same activity I did all month, would I be happy about that? If the answer is no, get your bootay into action, right? If you want your team to do stuff, you got to be doing stuff. Got to be bringing in the new blood if you want them to, right? So that is absolutely right on target for sure. Having said that, you have to remember 80-15-5, right? For those of you who are not familiar with that, it's the Thompson Rule. Larry and Taylor Thompson came up with this rule. They're absolute juggernauts in this profession. Amazing, incredible. And they say that 80% of your team at any given time has a desire level to earn $0 to $500 a month. Some of you all are like, you're crazy, lady. Nobody's going to start a business and not want to earn money. That's insane. We think that because we're not 80%ers, right? But there are a lot of people who are perfectly happy not earning any money. They just want to be a part of your community. They want to high five ya. They want to feel like they matter, like they're seen, like they're appreciated. You don't realize how many people do not have that in their day-to-day life. They come into the profession and they have a sisterhood and a brotherhood that they can't get anywhere else. They will stay forever if they feel appreciated. If they sense that you're grateful. 80% of your team. 15% want, they have a bit more of a desire level, 2,000 to 3,000 a month, and 5%, only the small itty bitty 5% want to earn all the money in the free world, right? But as leaders, we're always hyper focused on the 5% because they're the hard chargers. They'll like bust through a brick wall. You don't need to motivate them. They're on fire, right? They're raring to go. And they tend to have massive desire levels, so they work, right? So we're focused on them because that's exciting. They grow our business. 5%, that's all they are, itty bitty. So Segovia, if you're leading by example, that's great, you should be. There's still gonna be a large percentage of your organization that are gonna do less than you want them to. That's just the math. You can't outrun the math. It doesn't matter if you're like a famous actor, an Instagram model, a huge influencer, it don't matter. You can't outrun the math. It's the same in any organization. So you just spend your time with the people who are running. Everyone else gets massive gratitude from you. And if you do that, your organization will grow. So I hope that helped. All right. We are at 45 minutes. Can you believe it? That's crazy. That went really, really fast. I want to give out a couple more prizes. Oh, I love this statement too, Rebecca. Stacy, if you did not watch Ray's live yesterday, he posted here in his fan page. Was it yesterday or the day before? All my days are blended. But anyway, you'll see it here if you scroll after. It's very powerful and it may help. So that is fantastic advice, Rebecca. I love that. Okay, Cindy Nakamaru, I am going to give you one of our 90-day activity journals. This is my favorite one. It's so sparkly and beautiful, and I love it. This is my follow-up engine. Okay, I don't have anything written in this one because it's so pretty. I use it as my display model. But if you struggle with keeping track of follow-up, this has been a game changer for me. I love it, and we're going to give you one, Cindy, for sharing. So I really appreciate that. And we will reach out to you and make sure that you get that. Let me see. One more person I want to give something to. Okay, I'm going to go pick somebody down lower on the list. So if you haven't shared yet, share now, share now, share now, share now. 3, 2, 1, go! All right, here we go. Find one more person. I feel like I need the Jeopardy theme song, but then Freckles might get mad and kick us off Facebook, so I won't do that. That would be terrible. Okay, let's see. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to pick somebody. Jack, hey, we got a dude. Yay, Jack, you were selected. So let me see, what would I like to give Jack? You know what, since we were talking about leadership, why don't I give you a copy of Ray's book, Freakishly Effective Leadership for Network Marketers. Everything I learned about leading a successful team comes from this book. It's amazing. So you definitely are going to enjoy that. And so congratulations, Jack. We will reach out to you and make sure that you get your hands on that book. Thank you to everyone who shared. I'm going to, what is it that Ray says? Deputize myself and maybe Nicole Domare. I'll deputize her too to give out maybe 3 more prizes between now and 3 p.m. Eastern today. So keep sharing. We're going to give out 3 more prizes. So it ain't over. It ain't over until it's over. All right. And before you head out, I definitely want to share with you a little bit more about some major bonuses that you can get your hands on. I haven't talked about yet, but if you like free trainings that are epic and only certain people get access to, you'll want to stick around and hear this, because yesterday, does anybody know Matt Morris? Let me put the comments back on. Anybody know who Matt Morris is? If you know who Matt Morris is, drop me a comment about like what you think of Matt Morris. You know, he was actually a trainer that I got a chance to see quite often early in my network marketing career, because he was affiliated with a company I was affiliated with. And I was so impressed with him on so many levels, but more because of his story. This is a dude who lived out of his car, and he would wait for it to rain, and then he would shower under the downspout of his church when the rain came through the downspout, in under the cloak of darkness, so nobody could see him because he was too broke for running water. Oh my Lord. Can you just imagine somebody standing under the downspout of their church, hiding so they could clean themselves? Like, it baffles the brain. And now this person is a multi-millionaire, has an incredible organization. He has more than 50 millionaires on his team, hundreds of 6-figure earners. Like, he's an incredible, absolute juggernaut, brilliant trainer. He did a free training in the Rank Makers Live 2021 Facebook group yesterday for all ticket holders who have a ticket to the Rank Makers Live 2021 event. That is the only requirement to be in that group. He did a free training on the 5 levels of leadership that blew my mind. I have pages of notes, and this is only, he's just touching on some things he's going to be training when he actually trains at the event, because he's one of the speakers as well. So you can get your hands on that free training, but that's not everything. Michelle Eldridge, if you know Michelle Eldridge, drop me a comment. Michelle Eldridge also did an incredible 2-part training on how to leverage Clubhouse for leads and conversions. All of the secrets of how to utilize Clubhouse like a champ. It's really well done. That training is in there, free 90 free, if you have a ticket to Rank Makers Live, right? Hank Norman Hank Norman, if you don't know Hank Norman, he does a training in there on how to grow a brand that commands attention, that really makes you stand out. He is the brain behind like some of the most well-known people that you might follow now, like Mel Robbins and Grant Cardone's 10X, a few others. Like he's an absolute marketing branding genius, truly. And he did a training in there. He is a trip, Steve. He is a straight shooter, but he tells it like it is, and he's brilliant. He does a training in there all around how you can brand yourself to stand out from the sea of other network marketers. Absolute brilliant training also in there. Ray shared some notes from Russell Brunson. He shared some thoughts on his, he's been at the Dr. Joe Dispenza 7-day retreat. It's just, those are bonuses. It's crazy. And last but not least, I cannot forget this. Myself, Mary Kate O'Connor, and Nicole Domeray just finished a 3-day triple dog dare 10X Your Business challenge in that group that's now archived in the guides tab. So even if you weren't there, you can still go through it and do all the trainings and all the homework to help you 10X your business this year. It's all free in the Rank Makers Live 2021 group, as long as you have your ticket. So if you have your ticket and you're not in the group, reach out to Higdon Group, support at higdongroup.com, support at higdongroup.com. They'll make sure that you get into the group so that you can access all of those free bonuses. More are coming, as if that weren't enough. Seriously, if you buy a ticket to Rank Makers Live, even if you have zero intention of going, just to say, you know what, I'm super busy those days, September 10th to 12th, nah, I got stuff to do. I'm going to be out looking at the cherry trees. I'm going to be picking flowers that weekend. Sorry. Even if that's the case, the bonuses in the group are worth 10 times what you're going to pay for the ticket. So get one anyway. Okay. That's what I have to say. But honestly, rankmakerslive.com, grab yourself a ticket to the event. It's virtual. You don't have to fly. You can stay in your pajamas. You can eat Cheetos on the couch, as Ray says, and watch the whole thing, right? And on top of that, the trainers are going to be incredible. Ray has just spent a week with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a changed person. When he comes back, he's going to be sharing some gold, and he's going to bring things to that event that I guarantee you have never heard. You're going to have the advantage. If you want to change your life, if you want to have your business explode, if you want to be in the top 1% of your company, if you want to have choices for you and your family, an event like this is what absolutely changed my life. No doubt about it. Get yourself to this event if you know what's good for you. Seriously. And don't just go. Bring people. Leaders who bring people to the events are the leaders that grow massive organizations, because events change lives. The more people you bring, the more successful you're going to be, the more successful they're going to be. So spread the joy. So definitely get your tickets, rankmakerslive.com. I'm super excited to see you in the Rank Makers group so you can eat up all those bonuses. Delicious. They're amazing. And have yourselves a fantastic day. Keep sharing. We're going to give out a few more prizes. Thanks for hanging with me. Have a good one. Mwah. Bye for now.